Kanan Jarrus was one of the few Jedi Knights to still roam the galaxy in the aftermath of the Clone Wars, a privilege he never took lightly. As a result, Jarrus led the Lothal Rebels in their war against the Empire. He even took on Ezra Bridger as his Jedi Padawan. But how exactly did Kanan survive Order 66? And what was his life like as a Padawan himself? To find out, let's take a look at the backstory of Kanan Jarrus from the days where he was known as Caleb Dume. Welcome to the Kanan Star Wars Lore episode 143, the backstory of Kanan Jarrus. Born 33 years before the Battle of Yavin, Caleb Dume was taken from his homeworld at a young age to be raised in the Jedi Temple. Without the guidance of his parents, who he would never know, Caleb looked up to legendary Jedi Masters such as Luminara Unduli and Yoda. During a sparring session with fellow Jedi Initiates Samo Quid and Taiyu Zuma, Dume suffered a gash to his head. Subsequently, while in the Jedi Temple's infirmary, the youngster became fixated with a Bacta tank containing the injured Jedi Master Deepa Billaba. As he left, his instant connection seemingly awoke Billaba from her 6-month-long coma. Following his completion of the Initiate Trials, Caleb sought a Jedi Master to further his Jedi training. Thus, at the age of 13, he became Billaba's Padawan. Soon thereafter, upon completion of his very own lightsaber, Dume accompanied his master as she led Republic forces in the Clone Wars. For his first mission, Caleb accompanied Billaba and her newly assigned battalion to Cardoa, where they were tasked with either refuting or confirming a Separatist presence on the planet. Unfortunately, in turn, a scout droid spotted the Republic forces. Consequently, after jamming their signal, the Separatists ambushed Billaba's battalion. In the ensuing firefight, Dume foolishly disobeyed orders to fall back. Shot twice and left vulnerable as a result, the youngster faced certain death at the hands of 3 incoming battle droids. However, CT-1157 selflessly rushed to the aid of Caleb, saving his life. Soon thereafter, following a clever counterattack, the Separatists withdrew their forces, resulting in a Republic victory. When nursed back to full health, Dume participated in the 3rd Battle of Magneto. Unfortunately, during the assignment, Colonel Coburn Sear killed CT-1157, the very same clone who saved Caleb on Cardoa. Enraged, the Jedi Padawan sought to avenge his fallen colleague. In the duel that followed, Dume managed to destroy Sear's electro sword and cut the fuel to his flamethrower. Upon doing so, he offered the Colonel the chance to surrender. However, Caleb's opponent declined and was burned alive. His first kill was confirmed when Sear fell off a nearby cliff. At the age of 14, following the Republic victory in Kalar, Billaba turned her attention back to Dume's training. After hours spent practicing the Soresu combat form, Caleb confided in his master that his heart felt at peace, having found his place in the galaxy. However, unbeknownst to both Jedi, the galaxy was moments away from changing forever. On the distant world of Coruscant, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine issued Order 66. Suddenly, as they both felt a great disturbance in the Force, Billaba and Dume were confronted by the clone troopers they once considered comrades. Knowing what danger lay ahead, Deepa ordered her Padawan to run as fast and as far as he could. Terrified, Caleb could only watch as his master was gunned down. However, the sacrifice allowed him to evade the battalion all throughout the night. When sunrise came, Dume managed to reach an outlying public transport station, which led him to Plateau City. Upon arrival, the young Jedi lived on the streets in constant fear. After days spent raiding through bins for food and sleeping rough, the Jedi was discovered by Janus Casimir. Upon begging the Calerian scoundrel, Caleb was brought aboard his personal starship, the Kismiri. Not long after, Dume received the Jedi emergency signal recalling him to the Jedi Temple. Unaware of Emperor Palpatine's trap, he pleaded with Janus to take him to Coruscant, but the Calerian refused. Unsatisfied, Caleb stole the ship and headed to Coruscant. However, while in hyperspace, he received a message from Obi-Wan Kenobi in which he instructed all Jedi to hide from the Galactic Empire. Just then, the Kismiri emerged from hyperspace. Swiftly surrounded by ARC-170 starfighters due to a HoloNet alert about the stolen ship, Dume somehow found an opening and fled back to Kalar, where he was reunited with the less than friendly Janus. Despite wanting nothing to do with the Jedi, Casimir was constantly watched from afar by Caleb, who later saved him from a life-threatening situation. Grateful, Casimir offered Dume a job. After being stripped of his Padawan braid and Jedi comlink, Caleb learned how to steal and smuggle. Despite their rocky past and many tricky altercations with the Empire, Dume and Casimir quickly became close friends. As a result, when it came time for the two to part ways, both felt rather sad. However, moving on, Caleb travelled to Moraga, where he began using the name Kanan Jarrus. For years, while disguised as either a bounty hunter, frontier ranger, or freighter pilot, Kanan drifted from one planet to the next, hoping to avoid the watchful eye of the Empire. Aside from drinking away his problems, he worked a multitude of different jobs, ranging from bartending to driving hoverbuses. It was during one of his work shifts in Cinda where Jarrus met Hera Syndulla, a first-rate Twi'lek starship pilot. Kanan decided to help Hera investigate Count Denetrius Vidian and his mining operations on the furrowed Rich Moon. However, upon foiling Vidian's attempts to destroy Cinda, provoking the Empire in the process, Hera was saved from certain death by Jarrus, which inadvertently revealed his Force powers. Grateful, the Twi'lek gladly accepted him as a crew member of her ship, the Ghost. By the age of 28, Kanan had become the leader of the Lothal Rebels, whose members waged a war of resistance against the Galactic Empire. Now it's time for last week's question. What TV show do you prefer? Star Wars The Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to vote for next week's episode by participating in the card poll on screen now, and to have your say in future Star Wars lore videos, head on over to thekankazans.com and get voting. Before I go, I would just like to thank you all for helping the Kankazans reach its 3rd birthday. That's right, 3 years ago to this very day, I created this YouTube channel. But of course, it wouldn't be where it is today without all of the support you've given it, which is, it's just been tremendous, and I can't thank you all enough. It really does mean a lot. And here's hoping for at least another 3 years of awesome Star Wars content. So if you want to stick around for that, make sure you keep a look here to the Kankazans. Order 65 stated that if the Galactic Senate, or the Grand Army of the Republic, deemed the Supreme Chancellor unfit for duty, then the Chancellor would be immediately arrested or even killed if necessary. Following this, command would be given to the acting Chancellor until the election of a new Supreme Chancellor.